So you can see here there was weakness that was shown, and it was shown much earlier than weakness in the NASDAQ. So right now we're seeing weakness here, and I believe that we're going to start seeing weakness in the bigger market. Good morning once again. This is December the 2nd, 2020, and we're going to spend 5 minutes jumping into news, 5 minutes looking at charts, and then 5 minutes of looking at trade setups for the day. So the big news for today is still the elections. If you check the Gateway Pundit, every single day more and more news is coming out, and the strategies of Trump and his legal team. They've been moving things through the courts, but they're also presenting tons of evidence in front of the legislative bodies of the swing states. 5 out of the 6 swing states are Republican legislative bodies, and they have the power that if they see enough evidence in these hearings that voter fraud is real, that they can take back the power of the electoral vote, and instead of sending the representatives of the results of the election, if they deem that the election was fraudulent, that they can send whatever representatives they want to send to the Electoral College come December 15th. And what we're seeing in Pennsylvania, what we're seeing in Arizona, what we're seeing in Michigan are all huge amounts of fraud. And so if you go to Gateway Pundit, I mean, I can't even go over hundreds of thousands of ballots were shipped from New York to Pennsylvania. You have people that were in Michigan during the count that said that they were pushed out, while hundreds of thousands of votes were counted, all for Biden, none for Trump. Again, this is not political, but this is just if something happens where the courts and the electoral bodies of or legislative bodies of the states swing this to a different political candidate, that we could see disruption in the markets. And so I'm just pointing this out, not to say that that Trump is going to get reelected, but I think that there's no coverage. If you look at CNN or MSNBC or ABC, NBC, there is nothing. You can look through the headlines. There's nothing about any of these hearings that's happening in any of these swing states. And I think there's only one reason for that. It's covering up what's going on, so that people will look at any kind of change in the presidency as being stolen. Which brings me to my second point, which is that if the public believes that this election is stolen, we are in the eye of the storm right now. We are feeling peace and that everything is okay. But if things turn around in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a huge disruption in the market. And one thing that I notice is that everything always reverts to the mean. And so let's look at some charts. This is a chart that I look at a lot. This is the VIX. And you can see that the VIX, when it gets low, it tends to spike. And this just shows complacency of the market. Whenever you see lows in the market, it shows that people are getting complacent. And right now, we are headed into December 15th, the Electoral College. We're also looking at January 20th, the inauguration of the presidency. And everyone thinks everything is going to go very smoothly, and you can tell that by the low VIX that we're seeing right now. If things begin to change, and there's also the coronavirus, I know that there's the vaccines coming out, but there's government shutdowns that are limiting production, and lots of small businesses going out of business. Let's look at today's news. So today's news, as far as economic news for the day, is that we had the non-farm employment change, and the forecast was 410,000 jobs, and instead there was only 307, which shows that the recovery isn't as strong as they were forecasting, and that's kind of troubling, especially during the holiday season when retail sales and retail employment is supposed to pick up during this time. So for us to have 100,000 less than expected is a little bit troubling. Crude oil inventories was supposed to be negative 2 million barrels, and instead it was only negative 0.6 million barrels. So you would expect that if it's less, then that would put pressure on the price of oil. So let's jump into the charts. So we do have, I feel like with this low VIX that we are going to see a spike in the VIX, whether that's from the coronavirus, the unemployment numbers, something unexpected happening in the election. We are headed for a pullback in the markets. And so equities, what we are doing here is we are positioning ourselves. If you look at the ES shows that we're at this top, and if we go to a daily chart out to a year, you can see how high we actually have come from 2,174 all the way to 3,677. I'm anticipating that we are going to have a pullback here that will look similar to this and similar to this. So this is definitely not the time that you want to get into the market. It's a time that you want to go short. And I was talking yesterday or the day before that right now I'm very short the market. So you can see that there's negative $5,000. We were negative $8,000 yesterday, but negative $5,000 with a $100,000 account. So we went from a negative 8%. Now we're at negative 5%. But you're going to see in the next couple of weeks, because we're so short the market, and this is negative 4 contracts on the futures, the ES futures, and negative 5 contracts on the regular futures. So, or the mini futures. So the multiplier here is 5, and so this is actually just 5 negative. So let's just we can make things simpler. So we're going to close this order just so that we have everything in one position. I'm going to make this a market order just so that it gets filled on camera. So you can see that we bought back the short micro mini future, and then instead we're going to buy just one another ES future just to keep consistent. So this is again a big position that I wouldn't hold a position like this in my regular account. So we see the active contract here, December 20th. We'll take that contract. We'll do a market order just to get filled. Normally I do limit orders. Okay, so we have everything just in the ES. So 2 days ago we looked at the charts of so this is the way that I set things up in my trading platform for Thinkorswim. I have all my equities on one page, so you can see the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the Russell all on one screen, so you can kind of see where everything is headed. Normally they say that the Russell will kind of lead the other indexes whenever there's a market downturn, and you can see that there's weakness that it's showing in the Russell, and so sometimes you'll see that. So you can see here there was weakness that was shown, and it was shown much earlier than weakness in the NASDAQ. So right now we're seeing weakness here, and I believe that we're going to start seeing weakness in the bigger market. So this is equities. Commodities, several days ago we looked at oil, and we shorted oil. And this is odd because we are actually going up today, in oil when the inventory showed that we had more supply than we had thought. So it should have been bearish, but instead it's pushing the market up. But we sold calls here on CL, and so our CL position, you can see we're up 120 bucks in that position, and we sold the 51.5 call. So for us to lose any money on this, we would have to go up to 50. What was it? 51.5. So when you sell a call, you have to get up to here, 51.5, for us to lose any money. And I believe that we sold at the 0.2 delta, so we have 80% chance that the market is not going to reach our strike. So that position is pretty safe. GC, we saw it hitting the lower Bollinger Bands, so we sold a put down here, also at the 0.2 delta, and that came in really nicely. GC, we can see we sold 1680. So if you look at 1680 here, 1680 on the futures is way down here. So we sold a put down here, and so unless the stock comes down here, we're not going to lose any money. And instead of it going down, it bounced. And so when it bounces like that and you sell a put, you make money. And what we like to do is close at 50% profit. So GC 81, we have a $1,200 profit in there. If we look at GC, let's look at that position. Our position in GC, we sold it for 14. It's trading at 8. And it's trading at 8 in 2 days, so that's actually a really good return in 2 days. So we're going to close out this position and maybe put on another position tomorrow in something else. So we're going to close out this position and bank that winner of several $1,000s, $1,200, and we'll do a market order. No market order. Okay, what are we at? So okay, so when you do a trade, you can see that we're at 7.9 on the bid, 8.3 on the ask. So so we're gonna buy it at 8.2. Let's try, and if we don't, then we'll just hit the ask. Okay, good. We got that price. So let's look at our buying power reduction. We're at 16,000, not bad. We have some margin in there. So what we're waiting for is the pullback in the market, and that's going to be our windfall of profit. So so right now we're down about $6,500, and we just banked that profit, that $1,000 profit, lowering our cost basis, and we will see. You will see a big windfall of profit when we see that pullback in the market. All right, so the next thing is I want to jump into cryptocurrency. So one of the positions that I do have in my regular portfolio is Synthetix, and I just want to show you Synthetix really quick before we place a trade on it in the TradingView platform. So Synthetix, you can buy Synthetix on Kraken, and the way that you do that, you just open up your account in Kraken, you go to trade, you do a search, US dollars, but you look for Synthetix, and then you have Synthetix here, and then you click trade. And so you have a simple way to trade here where you can buy Synthetix with US dollars, or you can jump into the trade platform, and from the trade platform you connect it and it will pull you into the main trading station. And you can see Synthetix is doing really well. This is the whole history of its trading. Its high was at 6, its low was at 2.4 in the beginning of November, and it's trading almost back up to its all-time highs. And so if you wanted to buy Synthetix, you could buy it here you buy, sell, market. It shows you depths of market, and inside bid, the inside ask. So you can do all of that on the platform. Once you have it, then you can send it to your wallet. It is an ERC20 token, so you just send it to your hard wallet, and then from your hard wallet you can stake it. So I'm going to show you just what it looks like. I'm entering my my password on my hard wallet so that it's possible to stake. Okay. So I have my ledger hooked up. I'm jumping into my ledger, and this is on the Synthetix website. And so this shows you the inside of the platform, and what you can do is you mint USD by staking SNX. So I could mint this. I've already minted as much as I want to mint. I don't want to mint more, but just for the purpose of this video, you can click max. So I could mint another $249 of SNX to get virtual or synthetic USD. And it would cost me $6.48. That's actually really good, because this price used to be much higher when there was the whole DeFi craze several months ago. This was up to like 30 bucks. So once you stake it, what happens is you're allowed to claim these tokens. So you can claim tokens. So I'll do that right now, of SNX. So right now SNX is trading at $5.27. So 5 times 8 is about 40 bucks that you receive, and this is on a weekly basis. So I'm gonna claim my rewards, and you also get 6.74 USD. So synthetic USD. So, and that will cost me $5. So I'm gonna go ahead and claim this now. And the way that you claim it is you press that, and then you got to verify it on your wallet. So I'm reviewing my transaction right now, and I'm accepting, and I'm sending it, and it's showing right now that your transaction has started, and the reward was claimed. That was really fast. So finish, return home, and right now you can check in escrow, because even though you get it, you cannot collect it for a whole year. So you can see the vesting date. I have collected almost every week the tokens that you're allowed to collect from staking. So I collected 8, 6, 10, 18, 18, 7, 7, 8, for a total of 94 SNX. So just from August till December, I've collected 94 SNX tokens. So 94 SNX tokens times 5 is 450 bucks, about $450, and $450 for a $2,000, $10,000 of SNX that I bought over that small period of time is a pretty good return. So so that is SNX, and how you can make interest on SNX. And then if you want to collect your money, then you can unstake it by, instead of staking SNX, you burn it. So if I wanted to burn it and burn max, it would show me how much I could burn, and then I could collect my money. So so that's SNX. So what we're gonna do now, because I already have it in my regular account, but I want to buy it on my virtual account, just so that the accounts are similar. We already have Link, we have Ether, we have Bitcoin, so we're going to also buy SNX. And SNX had a really nice day today. Shucks, we should have bought it yesterday. So let's buy $10,000 worth of SNX. So 1,000, 2,000. We'll buy 2,000 of that. 2,000 is around $10,000. So we're buying that. The order is sent. Okay, there we go. So we have 2000 SNX and we bought it at 5.29. So you can see the open profit is negative $2,000. That's just because we opened our positions several days ago, and unless you time things perfectly, you're not gonna see a profit right away. And so, but with all of these projects, Synthetix linked, Chainlink, Ethereum, Bitcoin, over the long run, you will see these prices go up. And so what I do is I take a lot of the money that I get in trading, and at the end of a certain time period, I will transfer my money from trading regular futures, and I will deposit my profit into cryptocurrency. And so over the next couple of days, I'm going to continue to explain and then buy my cryptocurrencies so that my virtual accounts mirror my actual accounts. So so I hope that was helpful, and I know we went a little bit over today, but I'm going to be doing this every day. Just go over news, go over charts, and then highlight a certain cryptocurrency and then match it to my portfolio. So whenever I buy something in my regular portfolio, I'll put it on here, and same thing if I sell. So hopefully that's helpful, and if you would like to subscribe, if this is something that you're interested in, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for visiting the Maui Hustle, and I just want to point you to 2 resources if you're just getting started. I know sometimes it's intimidating, and there's a lot to learn for buying and selling options and also getting involved in Bitcoin. So I made 2 playlists. The first is how to buy and sell options and stocks, and the best helpful indicators that I use to make money on the Tastyworks platform. So if that interests you, then you can check that out. It's been super helpful for the friends that I have that are getting involved. The second is just the basics in cryptocurrency and how to get started in buying Bitcoin, selling Bitcoin, getting it on an exchange, how to diversify your portfolio in different altcoins, and then moving them off of the exchange back onto cold storage. So those videos are the basics of how to get started in options and also how to get started in crypto. Thanks again for checking out this channel, and hope you enjoy it.